Yes, guys, welcome back to another live stream. First transfer stream in a while. I do apologise. Obviously, I've got college in the way of things, and luckily that's all done now. So I can now obviously go live whenever I want in it. So hopefully I'll be going live every single day from now. Possibly not every single day, but I'll try my best in it. As you can tell, I'm on the trusty restream today because my free plan on StreamYard ran out. So yeah, we're on Restream for the time being. We're in phase 1 of Restream, so trust the process, guys. But yeah, Arsenal have made 2 signings as we are live today. I mean, as you can tell by the title, Kepa, here we go, Norgaard next. And I can reveal that we have just been given the here we go for Christian Nørgaard. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? It's one of them signings where you're gassed that we've got 2 deals done in the space of 5 hours than the players themselves. Because let's say if this was under Edu's dictatorship, this takes 3 months to get done. But look, it just doesn't excite me whatsoever, does it? I reckon it's fairly underwhelming, and if I say so myself, layout real. There we go. That's better. But yeah, in terms of Norgaard, right, as I said, it's so underwhelming, and now the deal is done. Obviously, that's a clear indication that Thomas Partey will be leaving Arsenal, which I don't know. I mean, again, I just don't agree with. I've said on numerous videos, numerous streams before that Thomas Partey is our best midfielder when fit, and we're gonna let him go for free to replace him with a 31-year-old Norg. I mean, like, come on, what are we doing here? Because the fans make up these fake narratives, not fake narratives, but narratives about Partey being 32, but they lap up signings like this, and that's what pisses me off. Like, Partey, bear in mind, turned 32 last week, but we're signing Norgaard, who finished mid-table with Brentford. I don't know, but let's go through some of you guys' comments nevertheless. Big up Drew. Oh no, here too. Big up Rory, catch you in 30 minutes. Smash the likes. Yeah, make sure you do run the likes up if you aren't already, guys. Subscribe on my road to 2K. That'll be greatly appreciated. Good evening, Rory. Good evening to you, Drew, as well. Hi, mate. Eating my dinner, eating a chicken tikka masala. Oh, chicken tikka masala. I've got flipping chicken burger. Fucking hell, bro. Got chilies, poppadoms. Bro, I have to wait until Friday, bro, to have my curry. Jesus. Oh, I tell you what, you're making me hungry just in the bloody chat, bro. I can't even lie. Typical Arsenal signing. Tell me about it. I mean, I was told, oh, it's only June. We can't make signings. Just made 2 signings in the space of 5 bloody hours. Like, what's going on? I just don't get it. This is not squad elevation, in my opinion. Is he a good player? Yeah, of course he is. But is he good enough to lead you to a Premier? No, he's not. He just isn't. So I just don't know what to think about this Norgaard deal, to be honest. It came out of the blue. Honestly speaking, I thought Spurs were going to go for him now that Thomas Frank is managing them, but he's come to Arsenal. He's there to make up numbers, isn't it? And yes, I know we need squad depth in the midfield area, in the midfield department, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't be the case considering how many midfielders we sign under this manager. That shouldn't be the case, bruv. We signed like 7 midfielders under Arteta. Partey, you've got Lokonga, you've got Odegaard, you've got Fabi Vieira, you've got Marino, you've got Zubamendi now if you want to count. Norgaard now, so that's 7. I'm missing one more. Who else am I missing? I'm definitely missing one. I'm sure it'll come back to me. I'd rather keep Partey in all honesty. Same. Look, this isn't to discredit Norgaard before all of you get bloody offended. Oh, you're so negative. He's there to be a backup. Cool. But we shouldn't be like, bruv, phase 6, bruv. Phase 7, whatever it is, right? Phase 6. Christian Nørgaard. Kepa. We'll get on to later on. What's going on? I guarantee, you bet my bottom dollar, we signed this guy because his name sounds like Odegaard, bruv. That's why we signed him. We've got the Martins. We've got Martin Odegaard. We've got Martin Zubamendi. We just need someone named after Odegaard. Oh, Norgaard. Yes. You're the chosen one. Goosebumps, guys. Goosebumps. Be excited. Oh, Jesus. But, look, in terms of Norgaard, right, I actually, considering he is established in the Premier League, right, I haven't actually watched him a whole lot. Now, that could be due to the fact I don't watch a lot of Brentford, because obviously I don't. And all due respect to them, they are mid-table. But what I've heard, he's one of their most important players. He's that heartbeat in midfield. But he's 31. And we should be, like, if we're going to let go of players like Thomas Partey, what do? Replace them by bringing in players who are better than him. Baleba was perhaps the only one that I would have taken, because I just think Baleba, he's had his breakout season and he's on track to move to a big club. But Norgaard, like, again, obviously, if he does come in, prove me wrong, then fair enough. But with all the experienced players we've had in the past, like, all of them have not really worked out. Jorginho was okay. And most of them were actually Chelsea players as well. Petr Cech, David Luiz, Willian. We've had Lichtsteiner as well. Like, all of the experienced players that we've had at the club have not worked out. And we end up just letting them go for free because no one wants them. And the jarring thing is, right, when he does reach that age upon 33, 34, we're not going to get anything for him. I mean, we're going to get at least 2 or 3 years out of Norgaard, guarantee. I forgot Sambi is still... I think he's extended his deal so we can then get money for him, if I'm not mistaken. Because he's been sent out on loan. so many times. So I don't know what is going on, to be honest. I think and this is what bro, I stand firm on this. If somehow, right, we don't get a striker or a left winger, like I'm talking the real deals that can get us over the line, then I'm going to be fuming. I'm going to lose my flipping shit because we spent 5 million on Kepa. We spent 11 million on Norgaard. Like, this is our opportunity to splash money on the likes of Isak or Gyökeres. Sesko, likewise. This is our opportunity. Why don't we splash 100 million on Isak now? Why do we do that? But if we end up with Sesko, then I'm telling you, my head is going to be on Mars. Because if we're saving up, if we're penny pinching, for God's sake, on players like Norgaard and Kepa, this must mean we're getting that marquee signing, surely. And if it is Sesko, my head's going to be on Mars. Period. Because I'm just... With Sesko, right, he's unproven. His wages, from what I've heard, I mean, they're a joke. He wants a release clause, and I said he wants money like he's fucking Ibrahimovic, bruv. And I don't blame him for wanting more money because he's a striker and Havertz is our highest earner. William Gallas and Petr Cech didn't do so bad from Chelsea. I mean, I reckon Cech was okay in his first season, but from then on, he was really poor. And you can tell he was definitely on the decline. And if he wasn't, then Chelsea wouldn't have let him go. And Gallas, don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on Gallas. I mean, he brought winning mentality to Arsenal, that's for sure. But again, just awful football. Pretty much every Chelsea reject, apart from Jorginho to a certain degree, they've all been whack. Let's just say how it is. All the experienced players we have signed, they've been whack. And I'm sick and tired of fans trying to validate the signing or decent squad depth. As I said, we shouldn't be in this situation where we're still short in midfield. We've spent so much money on like 7 midfielders for Arteta's tenure, and we're still short in that position. Because we're either letting them go on cheap fees or we're letting midfielders go on free transfer. It's like, what is going on? There's a delay from you speaking and to your mouth moving. It's like a Bruce Lee film, Rory. Oh, bro, I do apologise. Sometimes, like, in fact, no, not sometimes. Pretty much every time I stream, my Wi-Fi plays up at the wrong time. So I do apologise. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. But yeah, with the Norgaard situation, it's, you know, it's a decent player, but it's nothing to get giddy over because he's 31. You're not going to get many years out of him. And he's just there to add the numbers up. But again, like, not only our front line was the problem last season, our midfield was a problem. Because at times, there were no balance whatsoever. We had our DM playing as the 8. We had our 10 playing... Sorry, we had our 8 playing as the 10 in Odegaard, who, in my opinion, is more of a box-to-box midfielder. And Zubimendi's going to come in to sort of to sort of narrow that, would you call it, to sort of narrow the unbalance. You get what I'm saying? Because Zubimendi's the 6, Rice is obviously going to be the box-to-box midfielder, and then Odegaard's going to be the 10. That's going to be our midfield. Norgaard's obviously going to be replacing Thomas Partey, but it's always replacements, I feel like. There's no upgrades in this team. The only signing Arteta has made that is somewhat an upgrade in this first team was the goalkeeper in Raya, and he got that one right. He got that one spot on. But with the forward line, Martinelli, Trossard, he's happy with them. Havertz, highest earner, happy with him. Thomas Partey, who obviously was our best midfielder at the time, we replace him with a stopgap when really, like, Thomas Partey started over 40 games. He starts. If he was going to stay, he starts in this starting 11. Hands down. Period. That's not even a discussion. Don't waste your time. Partey starts in our best 11. So, obviously, I know Zubimendi's going to come in as, you know, the replacement for Partey, but he's not better than Thomas Partey. Neither is Norgaard. I don't think Norgaard's better than Jorginho, to be honest. I mean, if you look at Jorginho and Partey, right? We had them last season. In fact, we had them for 2 seasons straight, right? We have now Norgaard and Zubimendi as our 2 DMs for next season. I'm not going to lie, I would rather have Partey and Jorginho. I can't lie, because I think Partey's better than Zubimendi and Jorginho's better than Norgaard, in my opinion. Bless up Red Skull in the chat. We need a right winger and a left winger. I mean, bro, I think we've needed a right winger for 5 years now. Since Saka broke through, we've needed a right winger to not just to back up Saka and, you know, sit on the bench as like a stopgap. You get what I'm saying? A Reece Nelson type, but a left winger is a must because Trossard has 1 year left on his current deal. Martinelli, for me, should be the backup. So a left winger is definitely on the cards. But again, apart from Rodrigo, like, there's no one really out there who is available at the moment. We should be signing players for long term. This Norgaard, the clue is in the name. Actually, that actually spells no guard rather than Norgaard, bruv. But yeah, honestly, I don't have anything against the player. I'm sure he'll come in and do a shrewd job. But again, it's just, I don't get why we're still in this situation where we need to kick on. We made the same mistake last season with Calafiori, Marino, Sterling, like squad players, pretty much players who would not get into our first team, and it feels like it's a rinse repeat of what we're doing. New sporting director, same signings, to be honest. And the fact we're going into July next week, pre-season's not far away, and you're telling me Norgaard, Kepa are going to be our signings going into pre-season. That can't be happening. We need that striker. We need that left winger on board. And look, I'll instantly hold my hands up if we get a Gyökeres and a Rodrigo. If we get a Gyökeres and a Rodrigo, on top of Norgaard, Kepa, and Hato to some extent, that would be a 10 out of 10 window for me. Because genuinely, Rodrigo and Gyökeres are the only two that would excite me this window. At the moment, like if Hato was going to come in, great young player, but again, doesn't excite me because it's not what we all require. We've needed a striker for 5 years, but we sign a DM in the space of 5 hours. It's mad. And as I said at the start, right, it's good that we've got 2 deals done in the space of 5 hours, right? Taking away the quality of the player and whatever, like it could be Glenn Whelan for all I care. But at the end of the day, we've got 2 deals done in the space of 5 hours. So that's the only positive I can take. The only silver lining. But in terms of the player and in terms of like what we've brought Norgaard in for, it's just so underwhelming. At what point do the board look at the current situation and go, tell you what, we need that striker, we need that left winger, we need them marquee signings. And this is why this Havertz signing is just fucked up, bruv. Because he has prevented any sort of marquee signings coming in for the near future under this manager. Because I'm telling you, 65 million on Havertz is taken up pretty much the whole of the wage bill. And we're just going to, well, what I'm hearing is he's going to be starting as our striker next season. It's like, well, come on. Come on. My joke didn't work that way. Oh, it's frustrating. Look, I don't care what you guys make of my point of view on Norgaard. Look, I've seen most of the fan base lapping it up. Brilliant signing. Look, I'm not going to blame them, but the fact they're lapping Norgaard up, but then they're happy to see Partey leave because, as I said, that was the narrative. Oh, Partey's 32, his legs are gone. Oh yeah, let's lap up Norgaard, who's 31. How does that make any sense? It's not making us say, wow, though, these 2 signings when we look at Liverpool and Man City. Facts. Big up Manus in the chat as well. Of course, he is going to start as a striker who would come straight and bench him. Bro, I mean, perhaps a striker, like an actual striker. That's why we have the transfer market at the end of the day. You know, there's this kid in Sporting called Victor Gyökeres available at 75 million. Sesko, I don't particularly want him with his wage demands and the fact he's eager for a release clause. Pretty much saying to Arsenal, right, I'm going in 2 seasons. I'm waiting for the big dogs to come in, the likes of Bayern and Real Madrid, etc., Barcelona, when Lewandowski eventually moves on. So, at the moment, like, I don't know how to feel. It's all very underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like, it's nice that we're doing business within 5 hours, but your argument's being muddied straight off the bat about, oh, you can't make signings at this stage of the season. The Club World Cup is on. The Under-21 Euros is on. the women's Euros is like, what are we doing here? It's just every time. I know, but I think anybody who comes in would need time though. Not if they come in before pre-season. And we've had pretty much all month to prepare. Like, when did Man United announce Cunha? Right, and they're set to sign in Burma as well. Like, you're telling me, right, Man United, who are 15th in the Premier League, well, they finished 15th, should I say, but they could attract better players, like some of Burma and Cunha, for their attack. And it's not like forwards that, you know, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's another one that the players are on holiday. But that's what I was saying, right? It's not like they're signing players that wouldn't get into Arsenal. Like, Cunha would definitely start for us. As I mentioned earlier, Cunha would start at the 10 or on the left. He's very versatile. And Erdegaard will play in the 8 for me. And then Burmo, well, he could start on the left. He could start on the bench. But then again, like, he wouldn't start, innit? Like, if he was going to start on the right, then he would want first-team football week in, week out. So, look, I'm not buying into it. I'm just not. We need signings within the first 3 to 4 weeks of the transfer window. I wouldn't mind if these 2 signings were through the door because we've got what was required early on in the transfer window. The likes of Gyökeres, Rodrigo are already done, so we're going to turn our attentions to Kepa, Norgaard, the stopgaps, to fill up the squad, and then we're ready to go. But now we've put ourselves into a situation where we need to go all out for a striker and a left winger. Like, it's striker, left wing, or bust. And if we don't get any of them positions recruited in the correct manner, then we'll be in for a very long season. Sorry, that's the way it is. But, yeah, guys. Let's move on to another. Here we go. That was actually posted at 10:43 a.m. So it was in the early hours of today. Kepa to Arsenal. Here we go. Deal done for the Spanish goalkeeper to join Arsenal as new backup for David Raya. Arsenal activate 5 million clause from Chelsea and all documents are now sealed. One more addition for Arteta after Martin Zubimendi. So, yeah. Same principle as the Norgaard deal. This really doesn't bother me because, again, he's a number 2. He's coming in. It's another Chelsea reject, which has rattled most of the fan base. But in all fairness, right, like, he had a decent loan at Bournemouth. And I think as a number 2, like, as long as he's not going to play every single... Well, he's not going to play every single game, is he? But, you know, he'll fill in for the odd Carabao Cup, FA Cup games. I don't know, dead rubber Champions League games as well. If we're already through, he may play. He's not cup tied as well, which was the case with Neto. So, yeah. What can I say? Kepa is an Arsenal player. Excuse me, got a really itchy nose today. Those 2 in Kepa and Norgaard are done. They'll be Arsenal players. And, yeah, like, I mean, how else do you really want me to sum up these deals, to be honest? I've already summed up the Norgaard deal. The Kepa one, I mean, he's coming in to be number 2. And obviously he's been in this situation before with Chelsea. I think he was third choice at the time. He was second choice at Real Madrid when he was on loan, and I believe won the Champions League and La Liga. So he has that winning nous about him. In all fairness, it's just annoying that it's another Chelsea player. Every fucking window we're going to go for it. In fact, it won't surprise me if it's not the last one. If we can't get Sesko or Gyökeres, we'll end up with Nkunku deadline day. Bruv, I can see it coming as well. Big up FC always as well. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, I mean, I believe Kepa, if I'm not mistaken, is he... Nearly knocked my glass over. How old is he? Is he 31 as well? No, he's 30. So, yeah, I mean, as I said, he'll be able to play in the Carabao Cup games and the FA Cup games. And as long as he don't... as long as we... Good move. As long as we don't play him, although we'll have no choice but to play him, as long as Raya doesn't get injured and we have to play him... can't speak. As long as we don't play him, if Raya gets injured, then it's calm. It is calm. I mean, what's going to happen with Carl Hyen then? Because I don't understand what's going on there. Because I honestly thought he would have broken into the... Not the first team, but I thought it would have at least been number 2. Because I just didn't expect Kepa to come in. Although it's Chelsea, innit? So, yeah. And I'll tell you what. The last thing we're going to show you is Sesko. I'm sure all of you have seen it. Let's just read this comment out real quick. What is going on? Arsenal finished as a big club. The owners have no intention of trying to win and be the best, and that's also helped by Arteta and his fucking obsession with money spent on defensive players. I mean, what is he trying to turn us into? I don't understand. Like, you don't prioritise your defence over your attack first. You don't do that. You don't build. You don't ever build from the back. Never. And I actually brought up the amount of midfielders that this manager has signed. But the overall cost, there you go. 414 million on midfielders. But I'm hearing, he's decent for squad depth. But like, as I said, like 3 times already, we shouldn't be in that situation where we, as a club, should be signing stopgaps for midfielders when he has either sold them for low fees or we've let them go for free. So that's obviously down to the manager, isn't it? Letting go of players for free. So we're in a situation where we're having to then spend at least 20, 30 million on midfielders. I know Norgaard wasn't 30 million, but you get what I'm saying. Age doesn't matter when it comes to keepers. They tend to lose things later on in their career. Yeah, I mean, he's only coming in as a number 2, so it doesn't really fuss me. But with Norgaard, when Partey was right there, like he wanted to stay at Arsenal, Arteta wanted Partey to stay, but it just so happens that we can't agree on the wage. I mean, I don't blame him because, again, that's the Kai Havertz stuff, right? He just fucks up our wage structure, don't he? He just does. So we've got to a point where players are going to want more money than he is currently on. Because if I go through how many players in this team who are better than Kai Havertz, you would not think that he is the highest earner at Arsenal Football Club. Because I can name at least 13 or 14 players that are better than Kai Havertz. And that should be the case because your number 9 should be your best player, ideally, in your starting 11. Gyökeres, 97 goals in 102 appearances. It's a no-brainer. 100%. I mean, at this rate, like, if we are penny pinching for players like this, then 100 million for Isak, slap it on the table. Slap it. Because, to me, if you go and get Sesko, I'm sorry, that's just unforgivable. Because he's unproven and you're willing to spend that sort of money, around 80 to 90 million, on someone who is unproven. It's paid off in a way building from the back. It's been time since we've had a solid defence. Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, as a manager, right, if you were going to walk through the door, what is your first thought? If you're Arsenal manager, you're replacing Mikel Arteta as manager, what is your first thought? It's obviously the forward. It's obviously the left winger. Unless if you can get a tune out of Martinelli. Like, anyone would walk into that job and go, yeah, striker, left winger. Especially when we're a club that is built on strikers. So, to me, there's no excuses for no striker coming in this summer. If we don't, can you imagine we don't get a striker? I think we will, but it will be an Nkunku. It will be a Sesko. It could be a Watkins. I don't think it will be a Gyökeres. I hope I'm wrong. Because I keep hearing rumours about, Gyökeres wants to join Arsenal. He's left Nike to then join Adidas and all these buzzwords, right? Like, Jesus Christ. Give it a rest. But this is something I want to share, actually. Because Fabrizio also posted this. New social media hint by Benjamin Sesko as the striker started following Arsenal on Instagram today. This is bullshit. Fabrizio, you're verified for fuck's sake, and this is your method. You're a journalist, for crying out loud. I can tell he's caught the Eduardo Hagenitis, bruv. What is this? New social media hints by Benjamin Sesko as the striker started following Arsenal on Instagram today. He follows Man City and Real Madrid. What are we doing here? What are we actually doing here? Right, remember the whole Mudryk fiasco as well? Do we ever learn? And this is Fabrizio. And I can assure you that this is his actual account. Look, let me get up again. 24.9 million followers, bro. Like, come on. What is it with Arteta signing Chelsea rejects? Has he got shares in Chelsea Football Club? I mean, it's not like we're signing Caicedo, Reece James, Cole Palmer, whoever. Like, I would have thought, tell you what, the only way I'm going to accept going for Chelsea players is if it's actually their, standouts. Their best players. But when we said best players, we didn't mean players that are languishing on their bench or who are getting on. I mean, you look at Chelsea in the past, right? You look at Chelsea and the players they've signed from us. Fabregas, Ashley Cole. Giroud is another one who was on our bench, fair enough. He wasn't brilliant for Chelsea, but still, Ashley Cole, Fabregas. Who have we signed from Chelsea? Who have we signed? Apart from players over 30 who are going to last 2 to 3 years. Josh was joking about this. Yeah, I mean, I watched a bit of his video earlier today. I didn't get the opportunity to watch all of it, but I'll definitely tune in later on. So, yeah, I can tell. I mean, I actually did warn him in the group chat that, winding years back, Mudryk in January. So, yeah, just watch your step with that one, innit? So, yeah, guys, that is pretty much the news for today. I've said my piece. Is there anyone live at the moment so we can redirect? Let's have a look. We'll take a look. Of course, we'll have a look. Who's live at the moment? Oh, Josh is live. Okay, we'll send you guys over to Josh right now. Give me 2 seconds. I always leave things until last minute. We sell Robin van Persie, got Mkhitaryan. Yeah, Mkhitaryan, Alexis, bruv. Peak, yeah, that. Although we signed Aubameyang in the same transfer window, in all fairness. Here we go. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, my days. My computer is acting bare slow today, I can't lie. So there we go. I've just sent you guys over to Josh now. He's going live, presumably about Norgaard. So make sure you check out his stream as well. But yeah, on that bombshell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On my road to 2K. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. In fact, let's read out this last comment. Rory, I fell in love with Arsenal 1987. But cannot remain in love with something that continues to be unfaithful to me. I can't even blame you, bro. I can't even lie. I mean, at least one positive. The only, I would say, silver lining to you is the fact you've seen Arsenal win titles. I've only seen, 5 FA Cups? 5 FA Cups, bruv. I've seen Arsenal win. A couple of Community Shields as well. That's all I've seen us win, by the way. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the likes on your way out, and I'll catch you.